So starting with my bare face, as always, looking really pale. I'm first of all going in with my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter in the shade number 5. You guys know this stuff is my favourite. I'm pretty much applying it all over my face. I almost use this as just like an under base. But you know that on like a daily basis, I'll probably just wear this on its own. Whereas for this video, we're going full, like we're going all out because I haven't done like a more full face glam look in a long time. So I'm using this as a base. It's a lot of makeup, but we're going to go with it. So using a buffing brush to buff that all over my face. Then for foundation, I'm taking the NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation and I'm mixing in with the Radiance Boost. The shade of the foundation I believe is Barcelona, and I'm just doing 3 pumps of the foundation and then a little squidge of the Radiant Boost in the middle. This combination is bomb, although I do think it is slightly light for me at the moment compared to my body. I could probably go maybe 1 shade darker, but I didn't have 1 shade darker, so this is what we went with. I'm using that same buffing brush to just buff this like everywhere down my neck, my face, and obviously just really working it into my face so it just stays in there, you know. Then I'm going in with the NARS. This is a liquid illuminator in the shade Hot Sand. This stuff is my favourite. I've used it before. It's so good. Applying that to my cheekbones and using the same brush to really buff it in. I feel like the more you buff this, the glowier it gets. So just keep buffing, just work it in. Took it above my eyebrow and a little bit on my eyelid and just, yeah. Concealer, NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Ginger, and the Tarte Shape Tape in Light Medium. First of all, using the NARS one to cover any spots, do some contouring, well, reverse contouring on my chin and also under my eyes, but more in like the dark, like right under my eyes there, like the dark area. Taking my same foundation brush to blend this in just so it meshes really well together. Then going in with the Tarte one, oopsie daisy, it fell on the floor. And I then shot on it, so it was all over my sock. Then for this one, because it's lighter, I'm taking it more, as you can see, like underneath my actual under eye. Like in this, you can see that area there. And I'm taking a smaller brush, this is the Huda Beauty concealer brush, just to really pat that in and keep it in that area so it really brings that area forward and brightens and highlights the face and the area. I really like doing this. Then to contour and bronze, I'm using the new Huda Beauty Tantour. This arrived this morning when I filmed this, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna give it a whirl. I was super excited to try this bronzer. It's one of my favorite products. Starting off with the shade medium, it's dark. Like, look, this is medium, guys. So I used a duo fiber sort of stippling brush and I was going to apply it on my hand first and then look at it, it's just so dark. And then I started trying to like blend it like off my brush and it was just spreading. So I've got like the brownest back, like my hand was just completely covered in like, yeah. Anyway, it's really dark. Like this is medium and I would usually go for medium to tan shades when it comes to bronzer. It is kind of, once you start buffing it out, it does kind of go lighter because it's not, it's like it's really pigmented when you first apply it, but then when you buff it out, it goes a bit more sheer and it's definitely buildable. So I started with a little bit and then you can see once I blended it out, I was like, oh, okay, this is actually really nice. So then I started layering it and worked with a bit more. So I kind of used the stippling brush to apply it and then I used my foundation brush to just kind of blend it out. It does dry, it's like a powder formula, so you do have to blend fairly quickly. I also took it down my neck, obviously, to make sure I matched and stuff like that. But yeah, you do have to work with it quite quickly. But I'm quite quick anyway, and I did like how it looked. I then took it on an eyeshadow brush and buffed it all over my eyelid. This is still the medium shade. You guys know, if I'm putting it on my face, it's going on my eyelid. Like, that is just me. It just happens. I like a monochromatic look. I like everything to tie in together. I just really like it. Then I took the shade Tan, which is darker, as you can see, but I feel like even a bit more sheer. Like, you can see it on my finger there. It looks a little bit more sheer. And then I patted this over that same shade on my eyes and then used a brush to blend it out further. They do dry to a powder formula, as I said, but I feel like the more I put on my eyes, probably because I was putting a lot on because I was layering it up, it didn't dry so much. It stayed quite glossy, which, you know me, I love a glossy eye, but that wasn't what I was going for with this look, but I do love a glossy eye. So yeah, I just obviously worked it in and I also like, what's that called? Like kind of winged out the shape at the edge and then just kept buffing, working it in. Then I went in with the shade Rich because I thought, hell, let's just go with all of the shades and let's just put them all on our face. So this is the darkest of the shades. As you can see, it is super dark. Obviously, I would say light to medium skin tone, so I don't know how well this will work for you if you're a darker skin tone, but for me it looks like an amazing color. Like when I put it on my eyelid, I was like, oh wow, it was so rich and warm and really nice color. So yeah, I just worked that on my eyelid as well, just to like darken up, as I did want this look to be like a proper brown smoky eye, but also really simple and easy to do. So you could use any like cream bronzer or contour for this. I then went in with the shade Light. This is Light, and I just used this to more bronze and warm up my face, and I really liked this, so I think that's probably the one I would use most often. To set my face and under eyes, I used the L'Oreal Infallible powder, the blue one. I really like this powder. It really smooths and brightens, so just using a small eyeshadow brush to apply that, just to make sure I don't get any creasing under my eyes and just set any areas that are particularly oily. Oh, and I also use this to kind of clean up the edges of what we've done on our eyes. Just in case that it got a bit messy, just use that to kind of clean up the outside line. Once I've done that, I'm going to be moving on to brows. I did do these off camera because it was the same as I do always. So brows are on. I use the Dior brow powder for my brows in dark brown. Then I was like, I feel like I want my eyes to be darker, like I really want this to be more of a nighttime look, so I went in with the Huda Beauty palette and this shade right here, and I just packed that onto my eyelid, like just basically, because I feel like it didn't, as you can see, my eyelid looks quite glossy. Can you see like the left eye is quite glossy? I feel like it didn't set to as much of a powder for like look as it did on my face, so I struggled because I love a glossy eye, so I was like, I don't really want to set it, but I also didn't want this look to be the same as my other look, so I did want to set it and make it more matte, so I went in with the eyeshadow on the top and the bottom, and I actually really loved how it came out. It's a super nice colour. This is one of my favourite shades from the palette, so I just worked that on the top and the lower lashes, and then I took my tiniest, this is the MAC Costa Reach liner. It's my favourite liner, and I have just ordered a new one because it's my favourite and it's obviously so run out. Then I brightened up even further my under eyes with my KKWbeauty Brighten powder in shade number 3. You guys know my jam. This is my jam. Like, this is my favourite product ever. I really need to get a new one. I'm just using that same Huda Beauty concealer brush to just pat this into my eyes. And you can see it just really brightens the area. It helps contour your nose down the sides. And I also used it to clean up the edges as well. Then I was like, my face is really glowy. Can you see? Like, it's really nice and glowy. But I'm going to go in further. So I'm using the Anastasia Amrezy highlighter. Haven't used this one in a while, and it is one of my faves. So I just used a kind of large duo fiber brush to really buff this into my face. I feel like this is also one of those ones that the more you buff it, the like glowier and more skin-like it gets. It's so beautiful. It's like glass. So yeah, I just did that on my cheekbones. And then still buffing, and also a bit on above my brow as well. And then I was like, do I need to set this bronzer? And to be honest, I didn't. It felt pretty matte and pretty like powdery, but I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna add some more. So I added some Matte Gimme Sun just to warm up my face even further. I told you I was going in with this makeup look. This is probably, for some people, loads of makeup, and for some people it's not a lot of makeup at all. Anyway, bronzed up my face and my neck and my ears, because you can't forget your ears. Setting my brows with my Glossier brow gel. This one is in dark brown. Was it black or was it dark brown? It's the darkest shade, I believe. Is it? It's dark brown. It's dark brown. It's okay. I do quite like it. And then highlighting with the same highlighter on my brow bone, which is just life. Look at that. It just like literally instantly just went pop. And I also added a bit more here because why not? It's a more detailed brush, so I feel like I could be a bit more precise. Lips, I'm taking my favourite liner, as you guys know, Marc Jacobs Nudist liner, to line them. And then I decided to add lipstick. This is Huda Beauty Power Bullet in the shade, not actually too sure what shade this is. I feel like I want to say Underground, but I don't know if that's right, so I'll leave it down below for you guys. I love the formula of these. They are one of my favourite lipsticks. They're such a nice matte but creamy formula. Applying a tiny bit of Rimmel mascara. I didn't want to have lots of mascara on. I really like that look of a brown smoky eye with not much mascara or lashes or anything like that. So just a tiny bit to just make them like darker. And then once you have done that, the look is complete. I've actually got long hair extensions in today, which is really different for me. I haven't worn long hair in a hot minute. But that's the finished makeup look, guys. I really hope you liked it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.